Alrighty, this is Jakob Friedrich, and I'm doing my creative project for ethics. And I started off my project. I wanted to do a liquor store because the only time I ever went there was when I was really young, and I went with my dad. And I've actually never bought an alcohol from a liquor store or done anything in there really. So I started off doing that. First day I went in, guy was cool with it. He let me take pictures. He didn't mind. He thought it was cool. Second time I went in, not so much luck. The guy was a real big jerk, and he's like, "No, you can't take pictures. My customers don't want to be like profiled and stuff." So I was like, "That's fine. I understood. It's kind of a tough thing to do." But then I did it. So then I went in a third time, hoping to get the first guy again. Nope, same guy, same attitude. I was like, "All right." So I kind of gave up on the project just because it seemed too difficult to keep finding someone that I could do it with. So I ended up doing the grocery store that's near my house, Fresh Market. I worked at a grocery store for like 3 years, so I figured like, oh, I know it all about grocery stores. But I never ever really took the time to notice small details and notice people's interactions between each other. Like the one thing I noticed was the lack of people like at check stands and such. Like everybody just goes through the self checkout things. Nobody wants to communicate. Nobody wants to talk. The entire time in there, I was only greeted by one employee, or like even acknowledged by one employee. So I was like, that's kind of weird. I never really saw customers interacting with each other either. They always just were there to get their stuff and get out, which makes sense. That's what usually I was for. Uh, that bothers me. I feel like we are getting way away from human interaction and communication. I know we haven't really talked about it in class or anything, but it's that's what the entire class is about, though. It's about interactions between humans, and it doesn't matter on race or color, ethnicity, wealth, income, or any of that. It's just like interaction. Period is like the most important thing. So after that, I walked around the store and noticed a few things. Like one thing I noticed was there's a it's, wow an aisle thing that says what's on the aisle. It's like Spanish, rice, beans, and Asian. They have their entire food culture, it seems, slammed into one aisle, whereas like for us white people, like we have 18 other aisles where it's all like our food, and they don't single it out as ooh white food and like it's Rice Krispies or something. It's just everything else is just considered white or whatever. This reminded me of a lot of the Peggy McIntosh's article we read earlier in the year, and she's like, if I go into a grocery store, they'll have my food and blah blah blah, and like if I go into a music store, they'll have my genre I like. That's exactly how it was. Like when I go in the store, they always have everything I want, but if I was like Asian and wanted some actual cuisine, I wouldn't be able to find it at the average grocery store. That seems unfair. I know like there is Spanish markets that really specialize in the Spanish food, and they have like carne asada and like these other crazy chip things. But that's so far out of the way. Like the closest one I know to my house, there's one in Ogden, I believe. So that's like a 20-minute drive if I wanted to do that. Another thing I noticed was there was an extremely low amount of Hispanics that shop there. I think I saw five in the 6 days I went, and not counting when I went with my friends, and one was a Hispanic. I didn't count him because he wouldn't have gone that day. It was just when I was going. I saw zero African Americans. Every time I went shopping, there was definitely more women in the store than men. Uh, it shows that that's still a thing. I live in the northern part of Utah, very, very conservative, very religious. I guess maybe the man's working and the wife's at home with the kids. That is how life is up here. It's not like liberal Salt Lake where women are working and men are stay-at-home dads, which I'm fine with. I want to be a stay-at-home dad. That'd be awesome. Less work for me. But yeah, up here it's very conservative. Northern side of Utah, it's I don't know, like it's not like north, like Salt Lake super south or anything, but it's just northern. It's in the central part of my town, small town, which is weird because small town. I figured more people would interact with each other since there's only like two or three grocery stores. So I figured, oh yeah, they'll all come here. I only saw like one person talk to another customer. It was pretty weird. I went in the mornings. Every time I went in the mornings, there was way more women. They always had kids in their carts, and stuff like that. So I just thought, yeah, maybe they just have the day off. But most of it happened 5 times. I was like, no way, they've got to have more women are shopping than men, which goes back to like the Mayberry days where Aunt May stays home and Andy Griffith goes out, makes the money. Leave It to Beaver, the mom's a homemaker and the dad's a worker. It seems like that's still how it is in my town. One time I went in with my group of friends, and I got, that's the only time a employee talked to me, and I felt like he thought we were stealing, because when I worked at a grocery store, it's like, if you ever suspect someone is stealing, you don't, like, confront them on it, you just, like, ask them, you just communicate with them, because then it shows that you're watching them. So I knew I'm pretty sure that's what he was trying to do. I didn't care much about it. I played along. I was like, oh, yes, can you direct me to the ice cream? And everybody knows where to find ice cream in the grocery store. There's like 3 aisles that are frozen food, and I'm over there in the middle of nowhere. He directs me there, and I'm like, that's great. And then I just leave as soon as he walks away. Because I'm trying to observe all the store, not just the ice cream aisle. And nothing really happened. He confronted me again, and I told him the ice cream was in my pants, and walked off laughing. And then he continued to follow me. That was fun. Another weird thing, good placement by the store. They have the beer right by the chips, you know. They have beverages right by the chips. That's good, smart. They have a red box out front, attract younger customers. I saw that. They just came to get a red box, and then they ended up talking for like 5 minutes, and so let's go get ice cream and like drinks. So great job there. They're knowing their customer base. They switched this cooler in the front from a drink cooler to a produce cooler. Like they had fresh cut watermelon, fresh cut cantaloupe. Just trying to add up the idea of spring's here, come get your fruit. It was a smart idea, smart ploy. I saw a lot of people shopping through it. Like they were like, wow. Even though it's not the best deal, because if you just buy a watermelon, it's like $4. If you buy half of a watermelon cut up, it's like $6. I'm just like, some people don't care. They'd rather do that. I experienced that. Last but not least, I got most of my research in the first 5 days. I saw everything I needed to. A lot of the same trends, same women, same things. Except when I went, so the 6th day I went, I was just super upset with how everybody was not talking to each other, so I tried to make conversations with everybody. I tried to talk to like 20-ish people about stupid stuff, and I'd use a different tone of accent. I'd act trying to, because I dressed normal, in like sweats and stuff, because I was on my day off. So I go up, and I was like, oh man, them Cheerios, where'd you find them Cheerios at? And the guy's like on the cereal aisle, and he just like walked off. Like, I was like, you're not the nicest person. But that happened like 2 or 3 times. I thought, like, what is everyone doing? Nobody wants to talk. I ended up talking to the cashier. They get paid to talk though, so I guess it's fine for them. Makes their day a little better instead of just sitting there monotonously scanning items. They actually get to have a conversation with someone. So they were talkative when I approached them though. They would never try to approach me like, oh, my checkout lane's open, come here, or anything like that. They'd sit there, wait for me to come to them. A lot of the times they were texting, so they didn't even care. I was fine with it. They don't want to talk. Usually the customers don't want to talk, it seems. So, I don't know, it was a good experience. I've never really thought to look at people at a grocery store. Usually like I'm like that guy, I'm just like, get away from me, I'm just buying my Cheerios, back off. But I don't know, it was a fun experience. I liked it. I really wish I could have done the liquor store like I wanted to, because that would have been a totally different experience. I would have seen hundreds of different kinds of people, I'm sure. But what can I do? Well, sorry this presentation took like 10 minutes. I was just talking and all these thoughts keep coming to mind. If I was in class, it would have probably only taken me 5. I would have left out some stuff that wasn't as important. So I felt like this was even a better way for me to do it, because I could talk more, express more, and give more insight on my notes. Because like if you read my paper, it's not super in-depth about all my notes. Like I have a lot of notes that I didn't incorporate into my paper just because of how I had to elaborate on everything. So this was a great way that I could talk about all my notes without mentioning everything that was in my paper and just like reading my paper. And that's pretty much it. And there's that.